Hey guys, had to take care of something real quick, but we are back, and here we go. And to be honest, I'm probably going to split this up into two parts because the first one was like 24, 25 minutes or some shit, and we're only about, or a little bit more than halfway through the video. So I might split it up into two parts, that way I don't have to sit through some long shit, but here we are again.
And there are a lot of men that want that, but it's not to say that men that want casual sex or hookups or whatever it is, that we don't think that they should want that. We're just looking for the ones that want what we think they should want. And
Introducing Zero Sugar Hydration. Now that's smart. Liquid IV. Now it's sugar-free.
This is Karina. She's a Haverty's design expert. And this is Krista. She knows what she likes, but she also wants to feel like
typically what we think they should want is going to line up with what we want.
When you first meet a guy, how do you decide if he's going to be a friend or more than a friend? And more importantly, when do you decide? Because it's often said a woman will know right away.
Vibes, energy. You can feel it in the energy. If you don't connect with somebody right away, then I feel like there's no point. There's no point at all. Why would?
What did I say? Vibes, energy, everything about her. You can just you just know what she's gonna say. You just know, and it just proves that everything about social media is working because she's not even spewing off her own thoughts or opinions. She's literally just mentioning things she's seeing on TikTok or Instagram, or it's just crazy.
Would you have to work for it when there's people out there when it's just like a snap, like you just feel it?
You can tell if you're attracted to somebody instantly, but I also have had bonds that have grown, so you can't really tell. I don't care what people say. You can have an instant attraction, but it can grow.
I was married, and
Instant attraction is strictly looks, and the bonds that grow means this person, I might be attracted to them physically, maybe a little bit, maybe not, but I'm gonna still give them a shot. I'm gonna give them a chance, and it ended up growing into, okay, besides the looks, this person actually does XYZ, so I think they're, good suitor, a good candidate for a significant other. So I respect that answer, and based off of how they look, that's probably why they said that, or why she would know that. And before I restart it, she said, I was married. So let's see what she says.
I got unmarried because I had an instant attraction with somebody one time.
What is the difference between a romantic relationship versus friends with benefits?
Well, if it's friends with benefits, you're f***ing. If you're in a relationship, there's an emotional connection.
Yeah, usually friends with benefits, which I've had before in the past, is just, hey, can we hook up? Cool. Okay, we're done. Great, bye.
Who is more likely to want friends with benefits, men or women?
Men.
Whoever's hornier.
No.
Who is more likely to want friends with benefits, men or women?
Men.
Yep.
Why?
Because we all know that, like they said before, men are attracted to looks and are going for sex initially, whereas women look for the emotional connection and something deeper initially, or at least they're thinking about that consciously initially. So, and we also know, at least in my experience, it's anecdotal, but at least in my experience, and I'm sure most of you guys have seen any girl that's like, oh yeah, we can be friends with benefits, or we can be casual, or whatever the case may be, or a friend that has done it, 9 times out of 10 it doesn't work because the girl ends up wanting more and the man doesn't want to give them more, and it's a sad situation, but it just goes to show that a lot of times the men are completely okay with we can fuck and be done with it, whereas some women are okay with it. It's a minority, but most women are. Whenever they have sex with somebody, they are emotionally invested, and over time, even if they don't initially love that person or like that person more than just physically, they will. So,
Isn't that an obvious answer?
If men if men typically just want sex, why aren't most relationships friends with benefits?
Because women get what they want.
I don't think men just typically want sex. They also want belonging and love, too. But, of course, on the stereotypical outside, they want sex. But guess what? Women these days want sex, too. And now we're more open and honest.
It's not women these days. Women also have hormones. They've always wanted it. It's just that they understood that that's not what their value was based on.
About it.
What's the difference between the type of woman men want to sleep with and the type men want relationships with?
Men want to sleep with someone who they consider sexy and hot, but they want a relationship with someone that they want to have a family with and have kids with.
Great answer. Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Are women today more interested in relationships or hookups?
I feel like low-key hookups because relationships are shit.
Low key.
We want relationships. Like, here's my
They do want relationships. They're just taught that they don't. They're taught to be a boss bitch, be a boss babe, don't care about what men think. You don't need a man. You can get your own shit, whatever. But deep down, they all want relationships or a family or to be a mother, whatever the case may be. It's just this programming that is put into their heads makes them think otherwise, at least consciously. And then when you have girls drunk on the street, they're like, oh no, they want relationships. But I bet you if she was sober, she'd be like, oh no, we don't care about that. Hookups. It's just that it just goes to show that all the social media programming is working. So, but that is subconsciously and deep down what they want. It's biologically what they want, but they're taught not to. So,
opinion on the situation. I think most women want relationships, but they've been taught that relationships are not going to give them anything worthwhile. So they've been taught that the only way for them to get ahead is to play into hookup culture. So most women are engaging in hookup culture, but if you really get down to what they want relationships. But they've given up on them.
So if women are more interested in hookups, how can a man let a woman know he just wants to hook up without making her feel like a slut?
I say just be straight up.
He can just say it to her face.
nope, because that's nasty. That's misogynist. I don't like that. They say be straight up and be honest, but then you tell them, hey, I'm just looking to hook up or whatever, and they're like, nope, left you on red, whatever the case may be. So it's like you have to play the games in order to get the sex or whatever like you have to. But then they tell you this bullshit.
It's not so hard to be honest.
Just say it.
Say it. Be honest.
He could tell us straight up over the text or before they even get to meeting, before, like, let it be known, let the line be known before anything starts, you know?
If women want honesty, why do they complain that men only want sex?
If women want honesty, why do they complain when men only want sex? That's a good ass question. They can't have.
What did I just say? It's like they say, be straight up, be honest, be forthcoming, tell me what you want, but be real with your intentions, this and that. But if you came up to a bunch of girls and said, hey, I just want to fuck, like, they're gonna be like, oh my god, you're creepy, this, like, I understand that women operate off emotion, so they want to be politically correct, so they want to say, oh, be real, be honest, or whatever, but deep down it's, no, you have to play the game because they don't want to feel like they're being used for that. They want to feel special and whatever, but I just don't understand why they can't be honest and say, no, you can't be honest, because if you are, then we're going to get freaked out. So you do have to lie to us and make us feel special in order for you to get what you want.
Handle the truth. It looks like basically they can't handle the truth, because if you tell them the truth that you just want it for one night.
Are women more impressed by what a guy is willing or unwilling to do in order to get sex?
Ooh.
That is actually a really good question.
Kind of like both. Like, I don't know. Kind of what they're willing to do. Cause they'll go to. I feel like they'll go to the extreme.
So do you like it if a guy like will simp for you, kind of, or?
Yeah. Yeah.
No, they don't. They do to a certain degree because it makes them feel empowered, but at the end of the day, that's a guy that might be able to fuck them, might be able to like call them their girlfriend over a period of time, but after a while it's going to make them feel like, I don't respect this man, so I'm going to move on. So it's one of those things where it temporarily might work, and sometimes it doesn't even temporarily work because they just play you, like I mentioned before, but they really want a dude to come in there and, you know.
Yeah, that shit's hot. Yeah. But like not on a level that it's like you're too nice to me. Like don't be too nice to me.
So like be nice but not too nice?
Nah, don't be too nice. Like don't like.
Be respectful. Be nice in the sense that you're being respectful and you're being kind and you're doing these things for her that a man should do for a woman, but don't be too nice in the sense that you're literally just looking for her validation in your everyday life and in your conversations and what you do, how you carry yourself, that's when they kind of just say, oh, okay, like, what the fuck?
Like,
exactly.
No, like, we gotta, like, be kind of toxic.
Oh, man, women like toxic guys.
It's a real thing.
Yep.
If he is extremely nice, that gives like a feminine energy vibe, so it's like a turn off, and it's like a completely...
They're definitely foreign, besides telling from the accents, because the other girl has an accent too. It's not as strong as hers, but also because the way that she thinks about it, she's looking at it from the culture that she grew up in, and in her culture, I'm sure, based off her accent, she's probably Eastern European. I'm sure that it's not like that. It's being too nice is not cool. You want a masculine, manly man.
No, like friend zone.
What are your thoughts on the following statement? A woman is more likely to feel emotionally connected before she can experience physical intimacy, while a man is more likely to experience physical intimacy before he can feel emotionally connected.
Yep.
I've had a girlfriend that said that. She was like, I need to feel emotionally connected before I can do anything with them. I have been the opposite. If physically I'm attracted to somebody.
And that's why you're standing outside of a bar in Las Vegas at 38 years old by yourself with a girlfriend that said she was married and got unmarried, divorced.
I'm into it and I'm ready to go.
A lot of men use sex in place of emotional intimacy. So a lot of men think that they're building emotional intimacy through sex, and then it turns out it's kind of the only outlet they know of to experience emotions.
Yep. Do you believe that having sex on a first date discourages them?
I like that girl, bro. She's been hitting the nail on the head. Like I said, if you see this video, got the TikTok down there, you see the channel. DMs are open.
Man from wanting a potential relationship.
Not with me and Jess, but yes.
Some dudes feel like they conquered it and they're like, all right, we're done.
Post-nut clarity.
If a woman gives a man sex right away, do you think he's going to think more or less of her?
I believe that oftentimes men will think less because they may view her as easy to access, and that may make them doubt whether or not she's going to stay loyal long term. That does not necessarily mean that that's true, but it does mean it might give the man that impression.
I agree, and that's why girls, when they like a guy, they make him wait, but yet they'll sit there and hook up with a dude they just met at the bar that night after going out on a date with a guy that they like. And it's like, what is the logic in that? You're giving up your number one option, your number one value to a guy that you just met because you don't care about him, instead of the guy that cares about you and that you, or not care about you, but that you like, that you care about because of how he might view you. So I never understood that logic. But in general, most guys, I feel, don't really care. I mean, they do a little bit. We might have some type of stigma, like, okay, I literally just met this chick and I fucked her, like, what the fuck? But they also don't really care. They pay attention to the subliminal things. They pay attention to how you're talking to them, how you're carrying yourself, your expressions. Like, the sex is, like I said from the beginning, and like most people say, it's from the men, or in this video at least, for the man, from the beginning, it's strictly physical, and that's what we're looking for. We're not really thinking whether or not, if you give it to us, that you're a hoe or not. It's sometimes we do, but at that point, it's like we already kind of know if you're not. You know what I'm saying? Because at that time, either you met them at the bar and you've been hanging out all night, or you've been talking on Instagram or texting or whatever earlier that week, and now you've met up and stuff like that. At that point, we've already kind of assessed if you are or not. So for the most part, we kind of already know. So I feel like most of the time in that situation, men don't really care because we already know at that point. But in general, that's the reason why, like I said, I don't understand their logic. And, oh yeah, I've been with 20 guys. 18 of them were random hookups. 2 of them were relationships. And now I'm dating a guy that he's been waiting 3-4 dates now. We've been dating for a few weeks and I haven't fucked him. It's like, so you'll fuck the dude at the bar that you just met, but you won't hook up with the guy that you like? Like, what the?
Why would the man automatically see her as easy to access as opposed to seeing himself as the right guy who she'll break rules for?
You know what's funny?
Great way to put it.
I actually do believe that a lot of people get into that mindset of thinking they're going to be the special one that changes somebody's nature. And I think a lot of men.
The way she said that was not, it was a very feminine way to put it. Because he asked, if you feel like that's the case, then, you know, most men are thinking, okay, I'm the one that unlocked the key or unlocked the lock, right? So they're thinking, okay, I can tie her down, whatever. Even not in that sense, but just in a sense, you get what I'm saying. And she's saying like, oh, most people feel like they're special. No. Women feel like they're special. Men understand that it's strictly a very black and white answer. She saw that I had money. She saw that I took her on a nice date. She saw that I was able to do these things for her. So now I'm able to do this, sex. So she gave it to me. So maybe that's my sign that, boom, I can go ahead and do what I got to do. So I respect her answer, but it's also just one of those things where she looked at it from a very feminine way.
And women fall into that. I don't really believe that any man is going to just jump to conclusions rather than thinking he's the special exception that's going to change her. I think that is completely dependent on the man.
And there you go. She actually kind of followed it up with what I was expecting. Because of how she initially answered it was kind of more feminine, but then she followed it up with the fact of, hey, it depends on the man, it depends on how he views himself, which again is kind of feminine too, because it's more like anecdotal, every person is different kind of thing. But in general, most men are going to see it that way. They're going to see it as, okay, I was able to do this because I was able to provide this. We're not going to see it as situational. So I do like that she closed it out that way. But anyway, appreciate you guys. Think that was a good reaction. It ran very long. We're on 17 minutes on this one, and this is part 2. I think uploading it in 2 different parts is pretty good. It's a good idea. But this is part 2. I will make sure to leave my TikTok in the description. And I know I had mentioned I was going to upload TikToks from the last reaction, my first reaction back from a few days ago, which I'm actually going to do right now. And I'm also going to upload these over the next couple of days. Got a lot to go through because there were so many interjections in this video. But hope you guys enjoyed. Again, Voice of Flex is back. Vegan Flex is back. And I will be doing a full breakdown of the hiatus and of the new room tour very, very soon. In the meantime, make sure to check out the TikTok. Make sure to stay aware. And we will catch you on the next one.